I don't know. I don't think that. He don't like me.
Man,
I don't know why though.
You pretty much answer everything, huh? Yeah. Yeah. So if you had to put your finger on a why Lil Wayne don't like you, could you figure it out?
Maybe I think it's because he's just been with Birdman his whole life, and he's just so spoiled to the point where it's like he's really spoiled. He's been a millionaire. He's been a superstar since he was 9 years old. So he don't know nothing but his way.
The rap game will feel incomplete without beefs or feuds, and it mostly always revolves around money, integrity, or a woman. And this time around, it's about money. Several media outlets have reported the Lil Wayne and Young Thug beef to have spilled over seriously to the point of no return. Wayne and Thug are two rappers of very different eras. Their relationship was one of student and teacher, but it didn't take long before everything came crashing down. All this started with a few social media arguments that eventually led to Wayne's tour bus allegedly getting lit up. Soon after, rumors started swirling from close sources that Young Thug was allegedly trying to unalive Lil Wayne. Now, this whole mess between these two stars can be traced back to 2014. Wayne had a personal issue with his boss Birdman, the Cash Money record label CEO, with whom Wayne was signed. Around the same time Thugger was introduced to the label, he found Lil Wayne to be his idol and source of inspiration for his sound. But the beef between Birdman and Lil Wayne was getting heated and about to get out of hand at the time, which meant Young Thug was caught in the crossfire. Instead of trying to stay neutral, Thugger picked a side, and it wasn't Wayne's. Lil Wayne and Birdman's issue escalated during the initial release of his album, The Carter 5. At the time, Lil Wayne was allegedly starting to see he was getting ripped off by his label. This led to several postponements of the album. The project was meant to drop in 2014, but ended up coming out in September 2018, 4 years later. Birdman and Lil Wayne couldn't figure out how to settle amicably and had to drag each other to court to settle legally. Apparently, it was revealed that Birdman had cheated Weezy out of his share of profits several times. We're talking several $1 million here. After a long, tiring court dispute, both parties finally agreed to settle out of court. Several media outlets reported Weezy scored a big win. They reported he walked away with as much as $10 million. Some sources close to Weezy have dismissed it as inaccurate. But apart from all that, he became his own man, free from Cash Money, and he took his music and assets with him. Not long after, Lil Wayne dropped his long-awaited album, The Carter 5, under his own label, Young Money Entertainment. Back in the heat of battle with Birdman, Lil Wayne felt betrayed by his day ones and didn't hesitate to come for them on social media. He let out his frustration with several tweets and let his fans know what was going on. In one of his tweets, he said, "I want off this label and have nothing to do with these people, but unfortunately, it ain't that easy." What surprised a lot of fans was that even though Weezy was embroiled in a battle with his label, Young Thug decided to make Weezy's life even more difficult. Things between Thugger and Wayne were chill amidst everything that was going on with Cash Money until Thugger decided to come online and fuel the drama that his new album would be called The Carter 6. As y'all know, the Carter album is a huge legacy of Lil Wayne's career. Carter is his last name, and he's been dropping a Carter album since as far back as 2004. But King Thugger allegedly tried to take over the name. Thugger insisted he had nothing but appreciation for Weezy in naming his new album after his legacy. In his own eyes, he wasn't being disrespectful, and he was only paying homage to a legend in the rap game. But a lot of fans didn't agree with Young Thug's view on the matter. A fan said, "For you to say and believe calling the album Carter 6 is homage without malice is actually absurd. That's complete BS. You wouldn't do that to an artist you genuinely respect." Back in 2011, when Young Thug was only 19 years old, in one of his earlier interviews, he had this to say.
Okay, so what's next for Young Thug? Who should we look forward to you working with? Do music? Any mixtapes when it come out? What can we expect in 2011?
Wayne, Young Money. I'm working with them.
You are right now?
No.
Are you going to? You're going to.
Yeah.
Just a couple of years later, he realized that dream. He got onto the Cash Money label and got to work with Lil Wayne. He was living the dream. Maybe the fame and success got to his head, or maybe it was a scheme fueled by Birdman. But Young Thug started feeling like he was ready to take the crown off Lil Wayne's head. That wasn't going to be easy because Weezy wasn't going down without a fight. Even though Thugger claimed he had no bad intentions with his antics, Lil Wayne saw it as a clear sign of disrespect and scheming between Birdman and Young Thug. As soon as Weezy heard that Thugger wanted to name his album Carter 6, he saw the album cover. Lil Wayne went completely off. During one of his live performances, he called out Young Thug and told his fans not to listen to his music.
Y'all let him know I said, "Your money." Going further, I want y'all to do me a favor and stop listening to songs that post almost naked on that motherfucking album.
Young Thug went back on to brag about the release of his album, knowing he'd upset Wayne, insinuating he and his crew were ready for war if that's what Weezy wanted. He kept taking what looked like clear shots at Wayne on social media and continued promoting the album.
If you're gonna be a founder or a leader and respect when people look up to you, be that. If you're gonna criticize, be that. But don't mix your feelings. Weak. But tonight, meet me right here with my Jack Queez. I'm gonna host this party. The cooler like Akon. Boss. Got us coming. The bottle seat coming here. The bottle seat bumming. The bottle seat bumming here. Yeah.
A lot of fans and big names in the industry weren't too pleased with the way Young Thug went about things. Charlamagne, in his interview with Vlad, made it clear that Young Thug could never be Lil Wayne.
Playing Lil Wayne's hometown, calling his album
Let me tell you something.
the Carter 6, or trying to call it
It's
before.
whack. You're playing yourself. You're setting yourself up for failure, Young Thug. I'm gonna tell you why. Be the best Young Thug you can be, because fuck with Young Thug.
Right.
Like Vlad is in here. You clearly like Young Thug.
Yeah, I like that.
People like Young Thug. He only sold 18,000 records his first week.
Right.
So whatever fan base you do have, keep capitalizing off of that and keep being the best Young Thug you can be. You can't be that young man, Lil Wayne.
Charlamagne went further in the interview, saying that while he thinks Young Thug is a unique talent, the way he went about the whole thing with Lil Wayne was pure disrespect to the living legend.
Listen, I think his voice is dope. I think his voice is like an actual instrument.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I'm cool on the Barter 6. I thought that I'm just not into what Young Thug does. I thought the whole concept of the album was whack. Carter is Lil Wayne's last name. It's an iconic series, and you just jump out there and say, hey, I'm gonna call my album the Carter 6. That's kind of corny to me.
Even The Game, a close friend of Wayne's, didn't hold back on Young Thug. He sent clear warning shots in a live performance, daring Young Thug to make a move.
My nigga Tool ain't never been Hollywood, he's just been Hollywood gold. You know this, nigga. Let's sign this motherfucker. Anybody on Tool gotta follow me. I will thug up on Power Roof, nigga. What's up? Hey, hold up. Now come to California, bro. Do that shit. I dare you. I dare you. Walk through California and say, wait, I'm a like I did Glock. No problem. I'll get his smoke.
Young Thug did drop the album, but it wasn't titled Carter 6, as originally planned. Instead, the project came out under the name Barter 6. Sources close to the matter claimed Thugger heard Lil Wayne was about to file a lawsuit if he kept the name Carter on the album. Upon realizing the chances of winning such a lawsuit were slim, Young Thug chose instead to change the name of his album. While everyone knew there was bad blood between these two, nobody foresaw what happened next. Lil Wayne's tour bus was lit up as he traveled from a show in Atlanta as part of his tour in 2015. And that almost became his last tour. Several news outlets reported that after the performance, Lil Wayne's tour bus left the venue, and soon after, a white Camaro pulled up to the side and multiple shots were fired. Luckily for Wayne and his team, nobody was hurt, and shortly after the incident, an arrest was made. The person the police arrested for pulling up on Wayne and his crew was Jimmy Winfrey, aka Pee Wee Roscoe. He was slammed with several serious charges, and it looked like he'd be gone for a long time. Now this is where it gets interesting. After the news broke out about the arrest, it got fans suspecting that Roscoe must have had some sort of connection with either Young Thug or Birdman. Well, their suspicions were not far off. Jimmy Winfrey was said to be Young Thug's road manager at the time, and he did what he did to gain more respect and move up in the rankings in Thugger's crew. The indictment on Jimmy came a little after the incident, and while neither Young Thug nor Birdman were formally charged, it was clear to a lot of fans that they were in some way responsible. The Game, in an interview, talked more about his distaste for the attempt on Wayne's life.
Well, and then next year, you and Young Thug got into it.
Yeah,
Was it over Young Thug beefing with Lil Wayne?
Wayne, man.
And you and Wayne are close. Wayne's tour bus got...
Yeah.
So things were escalating.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
A couple years later, Young Thug talked about his strained relationship with Lil Wayne and still had a tone of disrespect for the rap legend.
I don't know. I don't think like me. He don't like me.
Man,
I don't know why though.
You pretty much answer everything, huh? Yeah. Yeah. So if you had to put your finger on a why Lil Wayne don't like you, could you figure it out?
Maybe I think it's because he's just been with Birdman his whole life, and he's just so spoiled to the point where it's like he's really spoiled. He's been a millionaire. He's been a superstar since he was 9 years old. So he don't know nothing but his way.
He stopped short of mentioning his alleged involvement in the attempt to take Wayne out that fateful night. But that's just how it goes in the rap game. In 2022, a RICO case landed on Thugger's lap, and he was indicted in a case he continues to battle with. It was rumored the 2015 of Wayne's tour bus somehow found its way into the case. Recently, Lil Wayne posted a new single titled Bless. And to everybody's surprise, it has a Thugger feature, which brought about the speculation that the two stars squashed their beef. What made it more intriguing for a lot of fans who've been wishing for this feature is that the RICO case in Georgia, which has seen the rapper incarcerated for nearly 2 years, isn't stopping the collab between the two from happening. This song would be their first collab since the release of Take Care back in 2014, a pretty long time ago. What are your thoughts about Young Thug coming for Lil Wayne's throne like that? Do you think he had anything to do with the attempt on Lil Wayne's life? Let us hear you in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe.